up, everybody? I'm going for the countdown, a top 10 with me, JPO. We discuss something usually involved in the world of movies. And hey, we're at that nice July mark, which means we're halfway through the year that was 2026. And I guess continues to be 2026. So we've already discussed maybe some horror films that were fun to see. We'll talk TV shows soon, movies soon. But today's where we get a little bit naughty and we talk about our least favorite, in our opinions, the worst movies of 2026 so far. The thumbs down, the things Ebert and Roper would tell you to not see, and Cisco would say was a trash fire. Or maybe they would like it. I don't know how they feel. But yes, I'm not alone here. You see maybe from the Lonely March channel on Thursdays. We're rocking the worst movies now. Pez, what's up?
Yeah, what's up, man? Thanks for having me back as always for these. Always fun to talk bad movies with you guys because you got to take the good with the bad, man. And it makes you appreciate those good movies all the more. But hey, every year can be a pretty good year for movies, but you know what? Every year has those stinkers as well. I don't think there's ever been like a perfect year of movies that didn't have a batch of bad stuff. Even as we saw JPO with 1999 in our little project, that maybe considered the best year ever. There's still stinkers every year. You can still find them. So there's plenty to go around, I think, already this year.
They are indeed out there for sure. And and you're right. As Gandhi once said, take the good, take the bad.
Yeah.
The facts of life. Richie, how you doing?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, look, I understand it's hard to make a movie. It doesn't mean that it's it's not fun to criticize them now and again, knowing that it point out the flaws. It makes for entertainment, So yeah, I'm looking forward to this. It's one of my favorite things to do at this time of the year as well. So yeah. I had an interesting time putting this list together, so I'm going to talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And we'll go with some maybe honorable or dishonorable mentions. Pez, you got any dishonorable mentions for us?
Yeah, sure. Oddly enough, a lot of horror movies in my dishonorables, as well as some on my actual list, because as much as everybody likes to say, "Oh, it's been a great year for horror," yeah, there's a lot of bad horror movies every year too. You have to take all those into consideration as well, which is why every year is a mixed year for horror. So I have a few of those in my dishonorables. This is not a test. Kind of a bad high school zombie movie sort of thing about kids just hanging around in a school, not terribly interesting, very bland characters. Psycho Killer, I didn't overly hate it as much as everybody, but it's still pretty bad, pretty poorly executed. Definitely feels like a streaming movie that somehow made it to theaters for a couple of days, and I saw it. About the only good thing I liked was kind of the look of the killer and maybe his voice. That's about it. Mercy, Chris Pratt, very bland, boring movie that involves AI. Feels like it was made by AI. If you like Chris Pratt just sitting in a chair, watching videos that he probably made this movie in 4 days. Check it out. And I thought it was really stupid advertising, being like, you have to see this movie on the biggest screen possible. No, you don't. It's just him watching videos on a TV. You're fine. You could have watched this at home, and it wouldn't have it felt like a Prime movie that made it to theaters. We Bury the Dead, another kind of really boring horror movie that I thought had a decent start. And it's a good premise that does nothing with it and goes nowhere and is very uninteresting. And I was dozing off quite a bit during this one. And then I hate to say it, man, but Scream 7 is shit. It's not good. And the more and more I thought about it after I saw it, it's easily the worst of the franchise, by far the worst character, killer reveals, baffling character decisions throughout the whole thing, just really kind of lazy writing. I'm sort of getting over this franchise and kind of tapping out. I really think this franchise is kind of run out of gas at this point. And it's just not good. So those are my dishonorables.
I think it's run out of gas. It just, this last one wasn't good. That's all. Richie, what are some dishonorables?
I believe the kids would call that cope, not M. Copeland. My dishonorables, Supergirl. It's only recent watching. It just came out. Didn't do much for me. Didn't hate it as much as anybody else, but it still wasn't it still had its issues. The Bride. I'm still sitting here going, there were good elements of it, but I'm still that movie was weird, and I don't know where they were going with some of it. and they're putting they do a dance. There's a dance sequence in the movie that is out of nowhere. It's weird. So that, and I wasn't. I felt there was part of two was unnecessary and didn't really go anywhere interesting, and yeah. So those are just my. I just got three. So yeah, those are mine.
You're slacking, Richie. Boy, are you slacking. Yeah, on my dishonorables here, I got a movie called Toe. This is a movie with the great Rose Byrne. Again, some good character actors here, but just never really next level caring. You know, she's trying to fight to get her car back. It reminded me of like, what if Aaron Brockovich was like more annoying and not fun to watch? You know, you're like, yeah, I guess I care if you get your car back. I don't know, just hurry up and make it end. I also had Bride on here. Man, was Maggie Gyllenhaal trying something here, I guess. You know, but most of it didn't work. You have two good performers at the main front, but boy, Bride was definitely a weird one. Then you go over to Ladies First. Sacha Baron Cohen not having a great year so far. He is the lead with Rosamund Pike, who are both so good, but this and like The Breadwinner, which I didn't see, just screamed like, you know, plots from 20 years ago. Oh, what if men were objectified like women were objectified, and then they don't get the same work rights. And again, it's all like probably mentioned or well spirited, but like well intended rather. But boy, does it's never that funny. It's very ham fisted. It's not very good. Weird movie, little horror movie called Mermaid. Another fun character actor who finds hey, remember that clip?
Yeah.
It's kind of weird and doesn't really do much. Of course, doesn't have much of a budget outside of the nice practical effects of the actual mermaid itself. Netflix, back to Netflix for People We Meet on Vacation. It's fine. It's a little Netflix rom-com where they meet. They're with different partners. Oh, we're just gonna be friends. Guess what? They're not just gonna be friends. They get together. I spoiled it for you. In case you thought the two hot people were not gonna end up together, they do end up together. Pez, what do you got at number 10?
Okay. Well, we talk about how I know it's hard to make a movie, and I'm happy this movie was successful in a way, and I'm sure he's a nice guy. But Markiplier, your Iron Lung movie is really boring. I'm sorry. And I sat through 2 hours and 5 minutes of this in the theater, and bro, you only got about 30 minutes worth of material in this actual movie, and you stretched it to over 2 hours, which is baffling to me because I sat in the theater and there's only so many times. For anybody who doesn't know, it's based on some game he had or something where it's like a one location game, so therefore a one location movie where he's in this like weird submarine on this planet, like tooling around. You don't actually see any of the outside of what he's like rolling around in. The only other kind of person is like a speaker, person talking to him on this like crackly speaker, and you can't understand half that dialogue half the time because it's crackly and like weird. And then it's mainly just him sitting in this thing going back and forth from like the main controls, just constantly turning knobs and pushing thrusters back and forth, and then going back to this like X-ray machine taking X-rays of like the outside so he can see where he's going. And literally, bro, he does this back and forth for the entire 2 hours, like almost, and it's just the same thing over and over and over and over again. I fell asleep multiple times during this movie in like 10-minute chunks, and I woke up and like he was still turning knobs and just like taking a new picture. And I'm like, bro, we haven't gotten anywhere in 2 hours. So maybe it makes for a good game experience, or if you'd make like a short film, like a short of something, little creepy things, that would have worked. But my God, sitting through 2 hours of this is like, this will be the new movie. I swear to God, if any of you guys have trouble sleeping at night and it's free on streaming, put it on. You'll be out in 20 minutes. I can almost guarantee you. And then you'll wake up when the credits roll. So I'm happy you were successful, Markiplier, but you were easily the worst of the YouTuber stuff I saw this year, like by a mile. So sorry, Iron Lung does not make for a good movie.
Right on. Richie, what you got number 10?
Well, I guess speaking of boring horror movies, I this might be a hot take because I know this got decent reviews at the time, but my God, I couldn't get it, and my God, was I bored throughout the whole runtime. My number 10 is Undertow. Did not like this movie at all.
I like Undertone, but okay.
Yeah. Undertone, sorry, Tone. I keep saying Tone because Undertone's a band. Undertone. Uh, uh, Undertone is just Canadian horror movie where they're just it's just podcasters they and it's all about sort of all these like spiritual stuff, but like nothing really. It's like nothing really happens till the end, and it's sort of like like it builds suspense. But I don't know, man. I was thoroughly bored throughout this movie, waiting for something to happen. Like if you like it, that's all good. I know that's the cool thing about film, from subjective. But no, it just didn't grab me at all. So yeah, look, that's my hot take for this list.
It's you're not that hot, Richie. I have about 30 minutes left, and holy shit, unless this last 30 minutes fucking does something, I am with you. I'm sorry, this movie, I am not vibing with this movie here. It is just her. You mentioned Iron Lung. She's also just like something kind of not even that creepy happens, and then she podcasts for a little bit, and then
I think it had a nice build to it. Maybe this movie works better in the theater. If you didn't see it in the theater, I think it's incredible sound design.
Maybe, but shit, do I need more happening than a sound design though? It just,
more does happen in the final 30 minutes. I thought the finale was actually good. So
it better win me over.
Yeah, all right, fair enough.
My number 10 is also maybe my number one disappointment, because when you say there's a movie with one of the recent Power Rangers, a bunch of rappers, and CM Punk, fuck did I want to like this more than I did Night Patrol. This thing is just it's kind of a mess. I don't always people always mention like, oh, bad dialogue. This thing is badly written. The screenplay here is not good. It's very quick to like. They're all over the place with the characters. Like the one character seems like a dick, then maybe he's not, then maybe he is, then he's out of the movie all of a sudden here. I don't know who the main character is. We finally figure it out. Then it has a bit of a cop-out ending. Some of the actors aren't good. On top of this, again, I was confused by some of the motivation. It's never scary too. Like it doesn't really play up the vampire thing as much as it should have. Like this very much just could have been a bad cop movie if they wanted. My boy CM Punk's good in it. I got no problem with him, and people like Justin Long are trying, but his character sucks. Night Patrol was something that I was pretty disappointed in. At my number 10, Pez number 9.
Yeah, movies that really kind of fill out some of this list are just movies that are boring. I think boring is some of the worst bad you can have. Like you can have baffling bad, you can have funny bad, you can have oh my god, get me out of the theater bad, but like boring bad is really terrible. And I think this movie is kind of, I can't tell about the discourse of this. I think some people dig it and some people don't. Death of Robin Hood to me just doesn't quite work. I look, man, I thought this movie had a decent like opening act. Kind of setting up the character. It's got some violence to it that I thought was pretty raw and decent, and some good cinematography and whatnot. And then to me, like right after that first 30 minutes, and another one's over 2 hours, man, does it take a dip in quality and get really, really coma inducing. Like after that, like he goes and chills out at this like village for the next 90 minutes and does really nothing. It just has really slow dialogue conversation. Like the pacing of this movie is absolute snail paced through this whole thing. And it's supposed to be this redemption arc, I guess. That's what they're telling me. But they don't do anything in the movie that he redeems himself. So like they talk a big game about like this guy being a real piece of garbage and like, the myth not being, him being a good guy, if him actually being a really bad guy. But then he doesn't physically do anything to redeem himself in the third act, and it just kind of ends. It's very anticlimactic. And again, I didn't find this character as compelling as some other people online have been doing. I think Hugh Jackman gives a decent performance. That's why I don't have this higher. And again, that first act is okay and suckered me into a movie that I thought it was going to be, and then just wasn't. So, Michael Sarnowski, I think, has some talent. He's the guy who did A Quiet Place Day One and Pig. So I think he's got some like talent behind the camera. But I'm sorry, this was just an ill-conceived project that was like a total misfire for me. So, yeah, not good. Death of Robin Hood.
Poor huge jacked man. Richie, what you got?
Yeah, it sort of pains me to put this here because I look forward to it. But yeah, after I saw the trailer, I wasn't really that keen. And yeah, while it did have a couple of good laughs, a lot of it was lazy. My number nine scary movie. Uh, I think a scary movie is yeah, like it like I will say it's like better than like number five or number four, but like it's just I it the like a couple of the jokes work, but a lot of the other jokes are just rehashing, like they're just recontextualizing jokes from the first one, or just but rehashing in a way. Like, there's like a lot of like lazy jokes about pronouns. This just that you've heard millions of times before. Yeah, there's just one of the things we complain about with parody movies is just or bad parody movies anyway, that where they're just references for references sake. And unfortunately, the movie that shouldn't do that commits this sin. There's a couple of things that just don't go anywhere. It's just, hey, remember we're mentioning this thing from this movie, and yeah, it's just but I mean, like, it's cool seeing this gang back together, and that, like, there, like I said, there's a few good lines, but yeah, and look, they bring they I get that they do a lot of Scream 5 stuff to the point where they bring back Dewey, who's like it seems like who's just a normal dude in this. It's weird. He's supposed to be like this mentally disabled dude, and he's like still in the costume.
No, it's backwards. Doofy is a regular guy, as revealed at the end of Scary Movie, and he's back to being the special ed guy in this movie. It makes no sense, even canonically, with the film. Why is he back to being Doofy when he was revealed to be the smart killer putting on a ruse in the first movie? It makes zero sense at all.
But even as like being the special ed guy, he's not like doing the whole Doofyisms, but he's not actually being dumb, and like that they know that they reference to the movie that he's not, that they know he was a killer. So I'm like, why is he doing that? It just makes zero sense. So yeah, then that Kenan Thompson thing was stupid. I think they added that later on because I don't know. I understand why they wanted to make it.
Money.
Money.
Sean Wayne hasn't done shit in 20 years, so
and create control of their franchise. But like, I don't know. I don't know if I want to see like another full-on trilogy of this, with this group or anything. I think it was nice to see this gang back together, but I'm done now.
This is your trilogy. This is Scary Movie 3.
Yeah,
with the Wayans.
Yeah.
My number 9. Take out the H, and you'll get how I think this movie was. Get it? Because I'm calling it trash. It's trash. Yeah, man. I don't know. You can make a good shark movie. A lot of people seem to not be able to. The characters kind of suck. It's another movie too where like the last few minutes are kind of okay, but other than that, you're just kind of with a bunch of people you don't hate, but again, next level care about either here. It feels kind of small budget and whatnot. It's from Tommy Wirkola too, who did like Violent Night and Dead Snow. So like, you think maybe he had like a fun one with like some wacky characters or something interesting going, and it's very paint by the numbers. It just felt like anyone could have made this. So yeah, a movie that just didn't vibe with all that much.
It's Timu Crawl.
I mean, it supposedly has a better budget. It's just it's a bad ripoff of Crawl, yeah. Because
it's the same plot. It's the same plot as Crawl, with just sharks instead of alligators. It's the same plot,
but it's worse.
It's worse.
It's worse though.
No, it's worse. I agree. It didn't make my list, but I agree. It's not. I got a few enjoyments, exploitation shark movie. Maybe I'm kinder to animal attack movies than most people, but whatever. It's fine.
There is another animal attack movie coming out in July with Catherine Newton that you might that might be all right on Amazon. So hey, that might make your list for the end of the year.
Oh boy. Yeah.
What you got number 8, Pez?
Look, I know, I think we're all fans of the guy's stand up and whatnot, and his times when he hosted SNL. But Nate Bargatze, you made a movie straight out of like 2003, ridiculously outdated with The Breadwinner. Yeah, I'm sorry. It's been a. I want so badly for comedy to be back, but like, man, I'm sorry. Comedy is just not in a good place right now, as we'll see throughout my list. Breadwinner is just such an outdated premise. I mean, and it's no better than what the trailer showed. It is a complete thing of like the dad of the movie is a complete and utter dunce who has no idea how to do anything around the house. He doesn't know that his kids need food. He doesn't know how to do laundry. Like, it was one of the like one funny lines that I thought, just the way Nate Bargatze delivered. There was a line where he's like, the kids are like, I'm hungry or whatever. He's like, you guys ate this morning. I thought we were done with that. Like, it was like, to a degree, he knows how to like deliver a line, but like, he doesn't know that his kids need food. Like, is he really that stupid? Like, it just, this guy is such a dunce, and yet they try to portray him as like the smartest salesman at his car dealership. So he just has no skills to do anything whatsoever. The plot with Will Forte that you see in there with like the house just really goes nowhere. It just kind of is a recurring gag where you could have cut all that shit out of the movie and it really wouldn't change almost anything. Just one lane.
Did this guy not know how to make eggs? Is that what that joke was? Does he fuck up making
He doesn't
eggs?
know how. Yeah, he doesn't know how to make eggs or
Come on.
pancakes or nothing. Like, he can't like make sandwiches. He doesn't know how to do anything like at all. And he ends up like ordering pizza every night, like as a recurring bit. It's just like you just want to like crawl into your seat and be like, bro, like, this is your first debut film. Like, where did you dig up this script from somebody's dusty cabinet from 20 years ago? Like, dude, you can do better than this, Nate.
Like,
Come on,
Mandy Moore.
Mandy Moore, yeah, like out of nowhere. It's just it's not good. Yeah, it's just every bit you can see coming a mile away, and it's just no thanks. So not worth it unless you really want to see Nate like on the screen. But I'm sorry, man, he needs something better than this if you're gonna make a debut.
I don't mind dumb now and again, but like if you can't if it's so dumb it's unbelievable, where I'm like, how did you make it to adulthood?
That was my problem with Ghostbusters 2016 and the Chris Hemsworth character, is this person shouldn't be alive for how stupid he is. Like, he doesn't know how glass works or a phone works. Like, this person, there's no way this person would last 8 seconds in New York City. Like, he would be dead immediately as soon as he walked out the door, not knowing just how the world works. So yeah, you can't make characters that stupid. Like, it's just, it's really unbelievable. So yeah, no good, no bueno.
Yeah, no, that trailer looked bad. It looked exactly like what you said. Yeah, I was like, this and like Ladies First, like the good double feature of movies that probably should have came out in 1982.
Yeah. They only did this premise in 1983 with Mr. Bomb. You're not far off with Michael Keaton 40 years ago.
They did
this premise. Oh, man. Yeah, it's the same jokes. Yeah, am I right? I don't know how to do chores. I'm an adult. So anyway, sorry, Richie, go ahead.
Yeah, my number 8 is this is when I realized that when we do worst of and best of with like Jordan, it's going to be wildly different this year. It's going to be wacky because I really love this movie. I was like, I don't know if this works for this film, and I just wasn't vibing with it. My number 8 is Lee Cronen's A Mummy. I think Lee Cronin, at one point was involved in Evil Dead. I think he wanted to make an Evil Dead film, and
he made an Evil Dead film.
Yeah, he made it, and he tried to make it with The Mummy as well.
Yeah,
and it doesn't work. It's just, people are like, at some point you just be like, I think the character's done, especially the mom. It's like at one point you just go, yeah, like you maybe should take it to at least like the hospital. There's like, she's clearly like, there's flesh being like, there's like flesh dripping off her, like she's pretty decaying. I'm not gonna abandon my, I want to take care of my daughter. Like, Yeah, I don't know. It's just dumb characters. Yeah, I just I wasn't like I wasn't a fan. It was just like it was just I think it was just shocking for shocking's sake, and I don't know. Just it it didn't really vibe with me at all. Yeah, what I want in a sort of mummy movie. Yeah, like it felt more zombie movie than kind of a mummy movie, and yeah, I don't know. It wasn't my thing, but like I didn't like. Yeah, obviously it's low on the list because there's more. There's
You need to see more horror movies. There's way worse horror movies than this. Like way worse this year. This didn't even scratch my list like at all. So it's at least competently made. Like I don't know, bro.
but it didn't do anything for me. So anyway,
it is too long. It's like 2 hours and 15 minutes, which is way too fucking long for one of these movies. Like they could have easily trimmed 20 minutes out of this. Like
yeah,
easily.
Yeah, maybe a hot take, but yeah, I promise that's for the end of our hot takes. Here you go.
I've got the ultimate hot take I've teased at number one that these guys know behind the scenes that I still haven't revealed. We'll get there.
Oh yeah, I'm looking for that.
Yeah.
Well, I hope it's not a ballsy choice like mine. Balls up. We're talking another comedy here. One on paper, at least with the cast anyway. I wanted to like here for Mark Wahlberg, who again put him in the right comedy, whether it's the other guys where he's kind of the straight man or whatnot. Even a little bit of date night, he can be good. My boy, pro wrestling entertainer Paul Walter Hauser. Another one too that I literally found out is it's from one of the Farrellys. This again is truly, this one's actually factual, not just us guessing for Breadwinner, but factually, he even admitted this is a script that's been toiling around since the 90s. You know what I mean? Because they've got this wacky condom idea that doesn't even really make a lot of sense here. The way they get in trouble is very contrived. The shenanigans are contrived. The Sacha Baron Cohen cameo, I imagine, he didn't sign up because of the script. He probably did it because it was an okay little payday for a day's work because he's got kind of one joke that's kind of chuckle-worthy once and then they do it 3 times. Yeah, it just really didn't work for me, man. Yeah, balls up, unfortunately. Yeah, Peter Farrelly, who did Oscar-winning Green Book.
He has an Oscar for Green Book for Best Picture. Literally, he has an Oscar on his mantle, and that's what he follows it up with. Yeah,
with balls up. Jeez. Pez, what you got at 7?
Yeah, I will get to it later, but I have a unique theory / rant about balls up that we'll get to later.
Okay.
I'll just leave it at that. I have a theory I want to posit to you guys about comedy and film that we'll get to later. Anyways, my number 7 is a movie I was not as kind to as Richie was, even in his dishonorable mention. My number 7 is Supergirl, which I saw last week. Look, man. These movies need to be better than poor right now for this James Gunn universe he's trying to set up. Where to start with this movie, man? Like, this movie looks ugly as shit. I hate this orange digital bullshit that is all over some of these like superhero movies or just these really badly like digital green screen movies. There's no real locations, which I hate. Take another movie that has a lot of desert type stuff in it. Mad Max Fury Road or Furiosa, which look gorgeous because they film, in real locations. And then you slap this gray orange crap all over the screen, and I hate. It looks like In the Lost Lands that we talked about last year with Dave Bautista. It's got that sheen to it that I hate. Look, every other scene you can tell it's just them standing in a studio, which annoys me. Lobo, you could cut him out of this movie. He would make no difference whatsoever to the plot. Look, I enjoy Jason Momoa for what it is, but this movie just made me want to see a Jason Momoa Lobo movie way more than this, than the actual Supergirl plot. It has weird like moral takes, like where she preaches the entire movie about not killing, and then, well, let's just say does something at the end that completely contradicts what she's talked about the entire movie. So that doesn't make any sense. I don't think she learns anything. I don't think there's an actual character arc in this entire movie. Maybe the most forgettable villain in almost, if you made a top 5 worst comic book villains, this this cream of wheat guy or whatever his name is, like, would be in there. This cream of mushroom soup asshole. This wannabe Pinhead Hellraiser asshole would be in there because he does nothing, and they shorthand like your motivation to wanting to hate him. Oh, he's also, by the way, involved in like human trafficking to instantly get him to hate you, even though you barely see any of that and it barely, factors into the plot whatsoever. Just the other girl is like Captain Exposition throughout the movie, the little sidekick. She has nothing to add other than just filling in the gaps of the plot. Just really, really poorly written. The transitions from scene, how we get from one scene to another is transitionally weird with the editing. And it's come out now that like Craig Gillespie, and just as I suspected, had creative differences in this movie and has his own cut of this movie. Now it's coming out, and I suspected that James Gunn's got his paws all over these people, and it's the same shit that always happens, it seems, with DC movies, that the studio gets their grubby hands and puts out a different cut and screws it all up and does that. So we'll hear more about that soon, I guess.
Release the Gillespie cut? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. I mean, apparently he said that himself. He had a whole different cut, and the studio took it away from him, and James Gunn like re-edited the movie, and he had a better cut with more shit in it. So I'm telling you, man, there's probably one out there, but yeah, it's a mess. It's not good.
But getting to a point where we'll just have a different cut alongside every other movie. Hey, this is the vision of the studio. This is the vision of the director. Studio director.
Yeah.
It's like,
Richie, what you got?
look, it gives me no thrill to put this on my list because I was looking forward to it. And look, because I'm a completionist, I'll be part of the problem because I'll still buy it. I'll still purchase it. I still plan to purchase it. Fit my collection, but my number 7 is Scream 7. Thought it was a good spot for it. Yeah. What would it be with this movie? Yeah, like, just it gave me a bit of pause that they're having so much issues with this movie. I mean, I have my own opinions of that they shouldn't have fired, people the way they did, but yeah, the way they handled it was like really stupid. Like, you got like, yeah, but yeah, if you're gonna have some of the other characters like Mason Gooding and the other two, and they just Gail Weathers, News Truth or whatever it is, this side character, it's stupid, and the killer's motivations are laughable. And then you break it down like, okay, so who did this person kill? Like, oh well, that could have how did that happen? And then it's just yeah, kind of. I don't know. I just thought it was very kind of lazily done. There's so many things they could have done here that they didn't, and I liked the way. And it's unfortunate because I liked the way that like where it was heading with Scream 6. There's a lot of different ways you could tell that, and then they're just gone back to Sydney. They're just giving her a lot of money. It's like, hey, I'm just like, I'm kind of, I liked when Scream 6 was like, Gail's like, oh, let her have her happy, let her have her happy ending or whatever. I was just like, yeah, I'm just like, I think we can move past that, and now we're just, now it's Sydney's daughter, and I don't know, it felt kind of soulless, and yeah, and then you had the issue of like, people getting attacked very viciously but not dying. Same with Scream 6 and 5 to a degree. It wasn't the same type of Scream that I've been accustomed to kind of loving. So yeah, I'll still watch the franchise, still like the format, but yeah, I'm not. Well, I'm a bit worried about where they're heading with it. So, but yeah, I had to put it on this list, unfortunately.
I miss living in a world where I could say confidently that there was no bad Scream movies. I miss that world. I want to live in that world again. Please, can we go back? It's not on my list because I just feel like my heart doesn't want to admit it. But yeah, no qualm that it's on y'all.
Give in to your anger, JPO.
Like I said, I'm not trying to say it's good. I just refuse to put a Scream in my bottom 10. Maybe Scream 8 if it gets somehow worse. Then I'll admit it.
Might.
But yeah. But I will go with another shitty horror sequel here because we returned to Scream, but we also returned to Silent Hill this year. Yeah, this is another franchise they keep on trying every few years. I actually think the first one's good. I think they do a good job with some bringing the creepy characters to life and having like a good lead actress at the forefront and Sean Bean, and so I actually thought they were off to a good start. Bad sequel that has an even worse script and and just kind of reboots it its own right with one of the same characters. We're trying it again. I don't love the main dude. Some of his acting choices wasn't totally my key. Maybe it's also his hair bothered me. I don't know why his hair bothered me, but I don't know, just everything about it. Just the journey. I don't think it was as scary. It gets there's a couple cool visuals again in the second half, but I just thought I was the least scared of this world that they've ever built up as well. And again, it just it felt like very much a reboot, but with some nonsensical writing. I just. Sloppy reboot of Silent Hill again. I guess we'll try a fourth time. Pet 6.
I literally just forgot to add that to my thing because I watched this weekend, but it would be at least in my dishonorable mentions at least. Yeah, it's not good. And I haven't loved any Silent Hill movies, so I think it's just just stop trying, just leave it to the games, just knock it off.
Evil. Which one are they going to try? Run out of gas on?
I just quit it. But anyways, now we're into this little horror chunk of my list as well. I'm gonna go to a horror movie I saw on Shudder a few weeks back called Body Cam. So this is my number 6. Body Cam is another example of a movie that has about 25 minutes worth of material and barely makes it to runtime, stretching it out, where this literally should have just been a VHS short, one of those anthology shorts. And if it had done that as a little 20 or 25 minute VHS short, it's got the premise and enough juice to do that. But they stretch it unnecessarily to a feature length runtime. The basic premise is these two cops, it's a found footage thing. It's two cops with their body cams and they go investigate something out of this house and run into sort of a cult-ish kind of thing, these people trying to summon a creature, and they're kind of running all over town, and the people are kind of turning up and stopping them wherever. But it's another one of those things where it's isn't this supposed to be in LA or something? Where is everybody? And I swear that there were scenes in this movie, and I swear to God, Rhonda and I had to go back this up and look at it several times, where they're driving, and I swear they used mannequins on the side of the road as a placement for people. And I'm not even joking. I think they used actual mannequins. I'm that person's weirdly frozen in place. It's either mannequins or AI people just standing there weirdly frozen. And it's not part of the horror. This is in the first 5 minutes of the movie. And I'm what the hell was that? Back that up. I'm going to see that again. Did they use mannequins for extras? Do they not have any money at all to tell their buddies, hey, can you stand here for a scene as we drive by? But there's no backup. They never call for backup. They never call for any help. They never try to leave. It's just again, bad character decisions, these guys, and then the final chase through this house. I swear it takes forever just for this. You keep waiting. This guy keeps turning corners for what I think is 10 minutes. And you're just he runs into the creature. He runs into the creature. He runs into the creature. When the fuck is he going to run into the creature? My God, are you literally just doing this the stretch to runtime? We're 65 minutes in. Are you just trying to get to 70 minutes? Just trying to get to this full length feature. So yeah, not good. And I'm a found footage stan. It doesn't, I can usually get down with a decent amount of them. But yeah, when I could tell you had no material to work with, beyond about a 20-minute premise. Literally, yeah. She said, I swear, I think it's true. There's mannequins in this movie. I don't know how to say it. They pop it on in the first 10 minutes or so when they're driving around this one neighborhood. I swear there was either mannequin or AI people standing on the side. I don't know what was happening there.
You make me want to watch.
Yeah, I don't know. You might, but just the first part. Don't.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say no. Hell no. You didn't make me want to watch it. You made me want to avoid it even more. You made me want to watch the one scene to see if I agree with the mannequin. That's all I want to see.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, by the way, not the first movie called Body Cam. I saw a movie with that called with Mary J. Blige of all people. I was that what? Oh, okay.
It's another generic title. Just whatever. That's probably been used multiple times. Yeah. So yeah.
Shout out to everyone watching, by the way. Appreciate your views. Richie, what you got at number 6?
All right, well, steering away from horror for a bit, but my number 6 is Michael. uh, One of the most bare bones biopics I've ever seen, and I know people are going to be like, "Well, they're going to talk about a lot in the sequel." You don't know that. I don't know that. I'm not convinced that they will get to that. Any dark things. They this is very carefully curated. They didn't where they weren't. They rarely, didn't even hint towards, talking about Michael in a bad light. So I'm not convinced that how that they're gonna. I don't know how they're gonna handle the second half of his life. I don't think that's gonna be any better. But beyond that, there's just the only one that 32 people have any sort of character in this movie are Michael and Joe Jackson. And look, the performances by Jafar is great. He's fantastic. He might get a Golden Globe nod for it. I don't know. And Coleman Domingo brings it. He's good. And the actual music in there is great because it's Michael Jackson. But there's no real story here. It's and then Michael Jackson did this, and then he formed Jackson 5 again with his brothers, but you don't get to know his brothers. They literally have at one point there's I think Tito has a name badge on. Yeah.
No, he has a hat with his own name on it just to identify which one's Tito. He is wearing a Tito hat.
Yeah.
I swear to God, I was like, wow, they did that on purpose to be like, this one's Tito, ding, 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 ding.
Because he's often talking about his brothers and wanting to, and then there's one point where Joe Jackson wants him to reunite with his brothers for a tour, but he's never talking with his brothers, and they barely have any lines. It's weird. It's bizarre. Miles Teller's in this movie as manager. He's given nothing to do. He's just a dude. He's just there. It's just the most soulless biopic I've seen in ages. But yeah, I mean, if you want to have a bit of a laugh, there's that Drewski comedian. He did a parody a parody trailer called Joe Jackson. It's called Joe. It's pretty funny. So check that out. But Michael, yeah, I don't know. If you want to watch it for the music, go because Jafar's really quite good. And but if you want to learn more about Michael and as the person or have questions answered, you're not going to get them here. And I don't believe you're going to get them in the sequel. So yeah, that's why Michael makes my list.
I was playing the trailer for Joe with Drewski, Richie. Give him a belt. Michael. Going back to horror, and speaking of movies that could have been a short film if you really wanted to, I don't know if Pez will bring it back up because I know he didn't like it too. Dolly. We got Dolly on the list.
If we don't do it on your channel, but if we were to do the punting thing, it'd be a punt.
Yeah,
it'd be a punt. We'll talk about it later.
I was saying, unless you forgot, I know you.
No, I didn't forget. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
So again, just an okay concept of this crazy girl doll in the hills, or been held captive, and now she held someone else captive or whatever. So it actually reminded me a little bit of an actual. From the last VHS, didn't they have a big baby sequence, right? That was kind of fun and crazy.
Yeah, I mean, it's not an original concept of even Barbarian. If you know Barbarian, does the mama taking care of a child thing. So it's not. That's
what I'm saying. We've
seen
it.
Yeah.
And there's certain ways, Barbarian, for instance, had a good build up and a crazy way they did about it. Controversial, unseen, and heard.
Because Jordan used a clip of it 3 weeks after it came out, when nobody had seen it at all.
Controversial because he used it, and also a spoiler too of what happens to a character. Right. Yeah, okay. Right. I thought he said the movie itself. I'm like, really? Was it?
Yeah.
But I also don't necessarily love the main chick in this too. I don't know, maybe just because she only has one level throughout the entire thing. There's maybe one kind of cool attention scene with the suplee that ends kind of very normally. Here's another pet peeve too of crazy lady and the guy doesn't move fast enough. That always annoys me. Yeah, it hemmed along. There's a subplot with Sean William Scott that I was like, "Oh, are we building towards something?" No, not really.
No.
Hey, Max! Shout out to Max the Impaler. Glad you got some work, Max.
Yeah.
But again, she doesn't. They don't really have much to do because they're just darn in the soup or whatever.
And an unrecognizable Ethan Suplee kind of in the movie that I didn't recognize him.
Yeah, he at least gets to chew like a little bit of scenery for a hot second. Like he's having fun to a degree. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we're in the top half, bottom half.
Yeah.
Number 5 is.
No, and I've said, like, sometimes on these halfway through the year things, the bottom half probably won't, last the rest of the year because I'll see worse stuff, as the year goes on. Maybe the top half will hang on, maybe even it'll just a couple. But yeah, no, these are the pits and the ones that I had the most kind of miserable experiences watching, essentially. So let's keep on the horror train. There's no reason to scare off the horror train. I mean, I'm going to praise a lot of horror when we get to the end of the year, that's for sure. But again, there's always bad horror. And boy, the epic finale to the greatest horror trilogy we've ever seen of The Strangers Chapter 3. Oh my God, it didn't get any better, even with this third one. This is gonna go down as the most like epic fail of a reboot or a saga, whatever. Like the biggest waste of time, of any like horror kind of thing, maybe ever. I'm just like, what? Why does this need to exist? There was no point in any of these. None of them did anything anywhere close to the original film. Back in 2008. The places where they go, even with this one, is just baffling. Of them trying to like, I guess, sort of woo, Madeline Pooch's like character to like be a new stranger. It makes no sense whatsoever because she literally watched these guys like butcher her friends and her boyfriend, fiance, whatever. So like that makes you don't buy the character motivations for even a hot second. And again, just boring. There's just nothing going on for long stretches of the movie where they're just kind of she's sitting there as other people do stuff. There's one brutal kill kind of in a hotel room. That's about it. And all this has to offer. And yeah, the final, actual third act and the discussions back and forth are not interesting. You completely checked out of this. It doesn't do anything to kind of redeem the first two parts. It's just right in line with the other two. So yeah, if you haven't enjoyed the first two, there's nothing this one does to win you over. Just a massive waste of time. This trilogy is going to be talked about for the next decade of like one of the biggest mistakes and biggest waste of time in horror ever. So yeah, no good.
Not to mention, this came out only like months after the second.
Yeah. Oh, they pushed this out with like, and I go to the theater again like twice a week. I saw almost no marketing for this one at all, other than the teaser they had at the end of the second one, to where you can tell Lionsgate was just like, yeah, put it out 3 months after the other one and just get it over with. Just rip the Band-Aid off and get rid of this movie. We're done with this. Like we know nobody gives a shit anymore and we're done. And I think even the box office, like I want to say it didn't even crack like 10 or 20 million or something. Like it just, you see the steady decline of like people not caring anymore. So yeah, no bueno.
Well, that was pretty good. Richie, what you got number 5?
You haven't watched it yet, you liar.
Oh, just wait, Pez. Richie, number 5.
Oh, okay. Okay, never mind. I guess we haven't gotten there yet. All right. You gotta look down at your phone, by the way. You crackle every time you look away from your phone. You gotta keep it close. Sorry.
Right. The boring horror movies. I've got one I was looking forward to as well. But my God, it had a good trailer. But my God, Passenger is boring as shit. Like you start off with these kind of charismatic characters, they get killed off in a car accident, and then you're following this boring ass couple with no chemistry, and then the plot is convoluted as fuck, and like. You don't care. There's slow plotting, overly long, and it's got Melissa Leo playing that stupid cliche character in horror movies now, where, I know a lot of shit, but I'm going to be very cryptic about it. And then won't and then something will happen to me before I reveal all. You know what I mean? Like, Anne Dowd played that character a lot in movies, and Melissa Leo plays us now, and so it's just getting annoying, a bit cliche, and and of course, if you're wondering whether, it's not a spoiler for the actual what happens in the movie, but if you're wondering if they do play, because it's called Passenger, if they play the famous Iggy Pop song "Passenger" in the movie, of course they do. Yeah, they play a cute cover of the song. Why wouldn't they? That's all this movie is cliche after cliche after cliche. It's just like, I would rather them follow the charismatic dude at the start. That would have been a cool movie, and then have these two eat it at the start, and then just follow those two guys. That would have been good. But no, we had to follow these boring bozos while they're, and then follow and while they're, I don't know, just I have no interest in what they're doing, and then the storyline just gets more convoluted as it goes by, and it sucks.
Bye, Passenger. We'll go into comedy for me again here, and another one that pains me to put this on because, boy, do I want more comedies out. But I watched a little thing called The Bus Boys, also featured on the recent 2026 days. So I've been hearing about this for a couple years now. So this is co-written, I believe, in finance and starring Theo Von and David Spade. Probably the biggest role of Theo Von so far, and David Spade. So it's bad, y'all. It's not funny almost from the get go here. I mean, even just oh, David Spade's got a wig and he's kind of a loser, and like, okay, so we're doing Joe Dirt and fucking the Rob Schneider baseball one all over again with that. You have a lot of cameos they're throwing at you here because they were able to get their friends in for an hour, like a day at a time. But most of the time they don't have anything to do. Again, more people can kind of cut out. Bobby Lee's cute because he's Bobby Lee, but doesn't have much to do. Even if you're a Kill Tony fan, you not only have Cam Patterson is on SNL now, but you also have William Montgomery, and you have one of my favorites, the Crab Man. Help me out, Richie. Casey Rocket.
Casey Rocket.
Yeah, so again, seeing them on screen is a pop of oh, I like those three, but the scene's not very funny. Tim Dillon kind of tries. He's actually in a little bit more than some of the others as well. It also it does that weird thing too, where all of a sudden they're trying to find a drug boss at one point instead of just being keeping it kind of small. They have this weird bigger plot that's just also not very funny. Yeah, I had a hard time finding much laughs in this. There's a couple legit laughs, as in an actual, not, I don't want to say legit they were great, but a couple of times I did laugh, and other than that, it just kind of ho-hummed it. Pez, what you got at number 4?
Yeah, I told you, and I don't think I was exaggerating. That movie came out in exactly one theater in Asheville, and I swear, if I remember right, it opened on the Friday, and I think by Monday the theater wasn't even carrying it anymore because nobody bought a ticket. They'll do that sometimes if literally nobody comes or one person, two people the whole weekend. They'll just kick it right after the weekend, and I think that's the case because I was thinking about going to see it, and I'm no, I'm good. But yeah. So what?
It hasn't come out here, so I can't watch it.
Oh yeah, I mean, I doubt it'll even come out at all, but I kind of in the comedic route, but more the rom-com. I almost forgot I saw this, and until I looked over everything, oh yeah, You, Me, and Tuscany was a thing, a really shitty rom-com that came out, and then I saw this trash. Man, another one that had a really bad trailer, a trailer that had the most cliche, corny ass dialogue, looked like every other rom-com you've ever seen with just horrible jokes, and then you go to actually watch the movie and they don't tell you this in the trailer, but it's a complete ripoff of While You Were Sleeping with Bill Pullman and Sandra Bullock. The plot is literally exactly the same. It's Halle Bailey goes off and is messing with this guy, but like she fakes that she has a relationship with him, and then the actual person she's like with like comes back into the scene, or she's like, or no, I'm sorry, she's with this guy and it's a fake relationship, kind of like her and Bill Pullman and that thing that they try to pass off as a real relationship, even with the family that like buys into it, exactly like While You Were Sleeping. And then there's another person that starts falling for her that knows she's like full of shit, but like won't actually say anything or can't 100% prove it. So that's exactly the same thing as the movie. Like it's the same plot beat for beat. You see every little bit coming a mile away. It's soap opera and it's melodramatic nonsense. None of the humor works at all. You have the typical like cliche family that's just over the top and they're weird and Italian. Like it's just and it's just so stupid. Literally, I'm not even joking when I say this, and Ronna can attest this in the trailer, or excuse me, in the comments. When we got to the third act, there was a section of this movie, like a 10 or 15 minute section, where I was telling her exactly what was going to happen from scene to scene, and I called it. Scene for scene, beat for beat. I said, now she's going to go to the bus stop where she was. And when she gets to the bus stop, because everybody's mad at her, the family's going to show up and stop her from getting on the bus. Literally the next scene, she's at the bus stop. The family shows up. And I go, now she's going to go back. And the dude the dude with the abs is going to be digging in a hole in the wine vineyard. She goes back and meets him in the wine vineyard as he's digging a hole. I swear, I had never seen this movie before. And I called it beat for beat. That's how cliche and tropey and nonsensical the script is, and predictable as hell. It's just made for like beautiful people to stand there and look beautiful with zero substance whatsoever. So Halle Bailey, if this is your follow-up to Little Mermaid, you need a new agent. I'm sorry. I know she was in that Color Purple thing for like 10 minutes, but no, terrible, awful. See,
yeah, this one
in the comments, she's backing me up. I told her how I was going to go in the last finale, like beat for beat, with that thing. Yeah,
I forgot this existed.
Yeah, I forgot it existed too. I forgot I saw it, and then I was like on my list, and I was like, oh yeah, we did watch that garbage. It's terrible. We were laughing about it because it was the only fun I had while that. But yeah. It's the same plot as While You Were Sleeping. If you like that movie, don't watch this because it'll piss you off at how exactly they just copy it and it just takes place in Italy instead of Chicago. So it's the same thing. So,
Rich, what you got forward?
Another guy who I mean, as much of a star he is, sometimes I would argue he needs a new agent. It's Chris Pratt. I thought you were a bit too kind on Mercy because Mercy sucks. No, I know we'll get a lot of. We're in the age of AI, so we're gonna get a lot of movies about AI. I'm already over it. Yeah, I'm sick of these. Yeah, and at least like done the way that it's done with Mercy. Chris Pratt looks bored throughout this movie. Rebecca Ferguson, who's also a really good actress, is bored throughout this movie, just staring at the computer. So like I said, you don't need to see this at the theater. There's nothing special about it that you need that's going to be like awe-inspiring. That you need to see it on the big screen. It's just it's just a I don't know, just a kind of lazy, just lazy movie that I don't know. I feel bad for all involved. Get better agents, and I was very, very bored throughout, and I was probably checking my phone. Probably the last half hour as well, because this did nothing. It's just, and it takes ages to actually go anywhere. So number 4.
I was joking about Stranger Chapter 3 about saying I thought it was right. I thought this was all right. But I also did save my money and saw it at home and took my time and took a nap.
Prove me wrong that this was an Amazon Prime movie that made it to theaters. prove me wrong. That
Well,
they
that's
didn't
why
know
I
what
I think I
yeah.
was okay with it because I saw it like on Prime or whatever or
Yeah,
wherever I saw it.
when I
was
saw
like,
it was an
all
Amazon
right.
MGM Studios movie, I was like, this is definitely a movie that was
I
supposed to
think
just
they
be
got Chris
streaming.
Pratt, and they were like, "Well, we'll get enough money.
Maybe
Because
it's
it's another.
January. We'll put it out
Is
in
it January? Yeah, I
January.
was going to say it's a January, not February. It's January 1. So yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Now it kind of checks the boxes of
yeah.
one location, Chris Pratt, AI.
Yeah.
Meh.
Uh,
Number 4. Hey, I agree with Richie though that sometimes you're too nice because
Am
this
I?
is not a test. Is
Oh,
on my
okay.
list here because this is not a test when I say this movie is not great. One, they don't really have much of a budget here, so if you're looking for any kind of like gore candy, you're not getting it from this movie here. They do the very cliched where like you'll see like a weapon swing and then the blood splatter on the wall because they don't have the money half the time.
Yeah.
It's kids in a high school just talking for chunks of it, and again, I'm not necessarily thinking the acting's bad, but it's not great, and like I do not care about the dialogue or these kids here. There's one interesting subplot with the teacher, Luke McFarlane, who
Yeah.
comes in. They say like they set up that maybe he's a creeper. There's like a hand on a face. She's like, "Hey, it was him. He was creeping on me."
Mhm.
They do fucking nothing with that.
No, because he exits the movie 5 minutes later. They do nothing with it.
They kick him out for a different reason. So why
Yeah.
even bring that whole subplot in?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just did not care about these kids and not care about the end. This really did not do much for me here. And hey, the plot sounds cool enough, and I've seen other things, even a TV series that's very much about kids holding up in a high school during a zombie plague and stuff. So you can do something with it, and they did not. And yeah, this felt almost like I said, that weird subplot with the teacher. It's just weird because it's not finished. It's like a weird quick moment, and then they just gloss over and they move on. And yeah, and I think he was the only good actor really in this too. Like I like Luke McFarlane.
If you want to see a better zombie movie where people like are holed up in a school, watch Cooties with Elijah Wood.
Yeah.
Better
Painful.
movie.
Yeah.
Not they're adults, not kids, but same similar premise. Go watch Cooties, much better movie. All right, well, we'll kick that Dolly trailer back up, JPO, because we got to talk some more Dolly at number 3. A movie that really. It has one or two kind of positive aspects. I thought the look of the actual like Dolly character was okay, for what it was.
Yeah.
I thought there was a decent amount of the practical makeup they do. I'll just leave it at that. I won't spoil it, but the practical makeup they do with Sean William Scott, I thought was pretty well done. With what happens to him, I thought was okay. So a few little positives. Everything else I hated about this movie as more and more as it went along, because it has the tropes that I hate maybe more than any other horror tropes. And my two big ones I hate is when the character clearly has a chance to escape the situation and get the fuck out of there, and they don't do it. And this main character does that like 3 different times where she could easily escape and doesn't do it. And also the other trope, which I think I told you about, JPO, was like maybe my most hated trope is when the main character clearly has an edge or the upper hand on the person with a weapon in hand and doesn't finish the job, and she does that like 4 times in this movie.
I mean, like the first
she pisses me off. She does that with like a shovel multiple times and like a hammer and like whatever. Like multiple times she's got the killer like on the ground, dead to rights, and does not finish the job. And then of course the killer just keeps coming after her, and I'm like, what the fuck, dude? Like to me, that's an unnecessary, like, I have nothing to keep this movie going, so I have to have characters do dumb things to keep the plot moving, which is one of the shittiest pieces
That's why
of
I was
writing in
saying
horror
that
movies.
I felt like
that.
a short made longer because it was like, oh, you're doing this just to prolong.
Just to prolong the runtime, which is like, and just keep the movie going, which I hate.
3, sometimes 4 characters, so you got to do something to keep.
Yeah, and that's the only reason she keeps going through the movie, because she has multiple times to fix the situation. The Ethan Suplee thing kind of comes out of nowhere and doesn't really add a lot to the movie, and like kind of takes a weird twist and turn with like his relationship to the Dolly character, which doesn't really make a lot of sense. Like, why was he chained up in the first. I don't get it. Like they don't explain it and don't go anywhere with it. And yeah, the Sean William Scott thing is. I don't want to say it's like false advertising, but like to highly put him all over the marketing, and then yeah, he's only in like the first act of the movie, and then disappears for most of the runtime, and then doesn't really have a resolution to his character. You know, you think it might go somewhere, and it just doesn't. Like you said, it's really disappointing.
Got a resolution. It's not a good resolution.
No, I mean it's not like a satisfying one where I'd be like, oh,
Yeah,
you
not
could have done
satisfying,
something cool and in a horror way with that, but they don't do anything with it. But yeah, the tropes are what just put this over there. I hate those movie tropes. When I see that, that's such an outdated thing. There's ways you can write around that kind of stuff and not have your characters be so stupid. Like you can have characters making decent decisions, and the villain is one step ahead of them or sabotages their efforts or whatever. There's a way you can do that. One of my best examples ever is a movie from 45 years ago, The Shining, where the Shelley Duvall character does a lot of really smart things in that movie, but Jack Nicholson has already sabotaged the radio. He's already sabotaged the snowcat. Like he's already thought ahead and screwed over all the things where she would escape or whatever. You know what I mean? So you can have characters doing smart things and they just get undercut. That's fine. And then I don't blame the character. But yeah, when they're just doing things just to keep the plot going, that shit pisses me off at this point in 2026. So no, you get bad marks for that. So Dolly's not good. Bad movie, bad cliches, bad tropes, bad movie. Stop it. Yeah.
Richie, we're at number 3.
If you think I am done shitting on anything something to do with Chris Pratt, you're wrong. He's not a. So number 3 is Super Mario Galaxy movie.
Oh,
this movie, this doesn't have a story. It's just things happen, and like I thought it was weird that they went to Galaxy after the first one because it's like they rushed through some things as well. It's like and then Yoshi comes in, and then but we've also got this Galaxy story that we're going to talk about, and then but it's like I don't know. It was just like that they rushed through some things, but then the other things that weren't like fully explained. It was really weird. Like they made a whole big deal about Donald Glover being Yoshi. He's not. They don't. But he's barely used. Like I don't know. There's a like the team up of Little Bowser and Bowser. You're like, oh yeah, cool. Or you think that Bowser's going to, maybe team up with like the Mario Brothers. Like, oh, that'd be cool. No. But yeah, it's just gaming reference after gaming reference. Hey, remember that thing from the games? Hey, remember that thing from the games? Hey, do you remember? Hey, you might remember that thing from the games. And the coolest thing is Star Fox shows up, but they gave that away. So why would you they gave that away in the marketing? And that would have been cool to find out, just in the movie. So and then it's just there's nothing happening here. Just like it's just like soulless. Like I think I mentioned before, it's just a bunch of pretty. It's like they didn't try. It's like a bunch of pretty colors and characters. You'll watch it, and I mean they did. It's made its money, so I'll probably get another one. But I want, and is it so much to have that I want a story when it comes to these movies? Because there is nothing here. Then they went. Well, let's see. But then there's post-credit scene. There's 2 post-credit scenes, but one post-credit scene they introduce a character. I'm like, what timeline are we working on here? Because she comes before Galaxy. I'm like, what do you? Like, I don't understand what world we what kind of time frame we're working on here. It's just it's weird and bizarre. I don't get it. I just want more effort put into these movies, but where it's just like not just like, hey, just fighting out the movie going, hey, video game references. There you go. So yeah, I did not like this movie. It's very disappointing. It's really the first one that actually has heart. It's just pretty funny and very well written. And this is a major step down. So number 3, Super Mario Galaxy.
Oh man, coming in at number 3, Tommaso Ciampa would be mad that they named this movie after him. I really disliked Psycho Killer. I thought this movie is messy and shitty on so many levels. The only thing I will give props to is I think Georgina Campbell definitely has some chops, and it can be in better things. I think I've seen her in better things. Actually, she looked familiar. But I don't care about the killer. I think he's got a cool mask. Oh, it's the barbarian chick. He's got a cool mask, but other than that, I thought the voice kind of sucked and took me out of it. The motivations, the kills, the CGI kills as well. Quick cult orgy, whatever. I don't know. Never really scared, never really intrigued. It's ugly on both premise and shot wise. And then on top of that too, the ending sucked. Like I was like, okay, at least we're coming up to a cool climax, and they dropped the ball on the ending as well. The ending sucks as well. So this movie did pretty much nothing for me here. Pez, we're at your number 2.
Oh, number 2, JPO, you were far too kind to balls up. This is one of the
you're too kind of psycho killer, so we'll flip flop.
Yeah, we'll flip flop that. You're too kind to this, man. I literally we had to take this in 2 parts. I had to tap out after like an hour. We had to finish it today. Started on Sunday, had to wait a day to finish this movie because a comedy that felt like I was watching it for 3 hours is never good. It just plods along. Look, I promise you, I'd give you like a quick theory. So if you'll indulge me for like a minute and a half or so,
yeah.
I have a theory about comedies, and this really only applies to comedies, maybe some kids' movies, but essentially comedy films in general. I feel like with most comedies and most good comedies that we would all agree are like pretty well loved and pretty well respected and pretty well. They're simple in nature. They have a fairly simple premise that you can then do kind of exaggerated shenanigans, in the middle and whatnot. For instance, I'll give you an example that we all like. We all love Happy Gilmore, right? And it has a fairly simple premise to where my theory is if most comedies should be able to tell within about 2 or 3 sentences how we got from the start of the movie to the finish of the movie. So, for instance, in Happy Gilmore, he starts off as like a wasted talent or kind of a no good hockey player, kind of a loser, and we end with him winning a PGA Tour, right? How did we get there? Well, I can explain it in 2 or 3 sentences. He has a gift as part of the hockey thing that he finally exploits in golf for a specific financial and personal reason, and he eventually gets better and better until he wins the thing and solves his problem. All right, I just summed up essentially how we get from A to B in about 3 sentences. Ace Ventura is another good example. Point A is he starts out as a kooky pet detective who has unconventional methods, but he's good at his job. The end of the movie, he's saving Dan Marino and a dolphin, and helping save a Super Bowl. How do we get from A to B? Well, it's still fairly logical. He gets hired as this pet detective to find this dolphin and uncovers a bigger kidnapping conspiracy involving a former player who's disgruntled and wants to ruin the Super Bowl. I can still get there in about 3 sentences, right? Can either one of you who have seen, Richie, did you see this at all?
Oh, I'll get to it. Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Can either one of you, within 2 to 3 sentences, tell me how we get from this goofy condom PowerPoint presentation to them being picked up by the Argentinian army at the end of this movie?
Reasons.
So let me just to go to continue your logic.
Yeah.
That's very similar to what I was trying to get at with Busboys. How do we go from, man, if we get this promotion, we'll finally, become something, to all of a sudden in the end, there's like a SWAT team and a drug ring, and they found his newfound dad that all of a sudden, so I get
it's a problem I've had with comedies ever since, and I know it's like a beloved movie, but like 3 Men and a Baby has that problem where it's like it should be this simple movie about these 3 kind of bumbling guys trying to take care of this baby, right? And by the end, we've got mafia and drug dealers and shootouts, and I'm like, how the fuck did we get here? And you watch this movie, and it's like, how did we go from this goofy thing that should be like a 5-minute aside in some other movie? It should be a skit in movie 43, really. It's like this condom presentation, and it feels like it would fit in with that, just that section of the movie, to then like at the World Cup tackling mascots and ruining a giant game, to drug cartels, to Amazon fish, to like people that hang poachers, to waterfalls, to again an opposing army. How the fuck did we get here? And if you have to like it's like you're working backwards. Like you're writing the bits first, and then you're trying to retroactively fit how we got from point A to point B, and there's no logical sense to it whatsoever. Like you have to take the biggest stretches ever. The best comedy should be a fairly simple premise that you can have some kind of wacky situations and over-exaggerated situations, but still fall within the logic of the situation. And this one fails in every aspect of that. Every bit is unfunny. Every transition makes no sense. The things that they encounter, how they get from point A to point B is awful. I was shaking my head furiously at like, oh my God, like what is comedy anymore? Is this comedy? Like we pine for more comedy. Please, we want more comedy. And Amazon and these other streaming services just go, hold the fuck on, man. Back the fuck up. No way. You're not getting any good comedy. We're gonna shut that shit down right now. So yeah, this is horrendous. This is really, really bad. And I feel bad for the people involved, but not really. Like you should be picking better projects. Paul Walter Hauser, you're better than this. So I'm sure it was fun working out with Mark Wahlberg in his trailer or whatever, but like pick better shit than this.
But wait, JPO, if your project of seeing movies just because wrestlers are in them, you got to watch Jackass 5.
I told him Paul Walter Hauser was in that movie. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I've seen every Jackass. I would have either way.
Yeah. So sorry about my long aside, but I had a little theory.
And
I think all the best comedies you can think of, like all the ones that hold up and we still talk about to this day, follow that theory of being like a fairly simple from beginning to end.
Example of, I don't know if you guys like these movies as much as I do, but like easily the worst Pitch Perfect is Pitch Perfect 3, because all of a sudden there's like action scenes and like trying to kidnap, and I'm like, the fuck happened to the funny competition girls?
What happened to we've got to get to we have a group of friends, we start a singing group, and we win a competition. Fairly simple, right?
Well, why all of a sudden are we on a boat where like Rebel Wilson's knocking out security guards?
When you're doing that, you failed, and like you just are just doing shit at this point. It's not necessary.
Just write a funny movie. Balls Up and Bus Boys, I think are great examples of like you lost the plot points, guys. You tried going wacky and big, and sometimes that can work, occasionally, but the thing is not. No.
Yeah.
Well, we're almost there, Richie. What you got a dose? Drop a deuce.
If you want to continue your rant, you can. Keep the trailer up. Balls Up.
Oh boy.
Pretty much what I said. I feel like Peter Farrelly, had the maybe around 12 or 13 had found dick jokes hilarious and just never got out of that mindset. Because my God, it's like it's all through it, all throughout his after like 5 minutes you're like, I get it. All right, I'm over. I own the same jokes. This is lazy now, and it's just the way I explain how they go. It just becomes a different movie. It's like a 10-year-old in the writer's room. It's like, there will be explosions. We need drug cartel. Okay. I guess we'll have to put that down. Yeah. It's just like it's like, even if it doesn't make sense, like no, you just put it in the movie.
I saw a cocaine bear. Throw in a cocaine alligator real quick. That'll be funny.
Okay. He's not a producer. We gotta do it. So it's just dumb. Mark Wahlberg, I don't know what he's doing in his career. He's been tanking for a while. And I don't know. I don't like Paul Hauser's been doing. I call him Paul Hauser because that's what he's been going by NWA, but MLW. But Paul Walter Hauser has hit or miss as far as roles go. But man, you're better than this. Do more stuff. I feel bad too because I think this is filmed in Australia. Because my friend,
filmed in Australia. Yes, I looked that up.
Because my friend,
so you could have stopped it, Richie.
My he's in this. He's one of the Asian
guys. I'm sorry. Listen, I needed the money. I was buying a new house. I put money in MLW. There's just
Amazon cut me a good check, man. I just couldn't pass it up.
My friend, Mike Jaquan is in this movie. He's like this Asian, like the Asian reporter dude. Yeah, we have the same agent, by the way. But yeah, you know, so
I'm
I
glad
could,
you didn't get casted. It would have been awkward. We
No,
love Balls Up,
go
Richie. It was so funny. So funny, Richie.
so, yeah, yeah, that was so yeah, and then Sacha Baron Cohen shows up. I feel like maybe he's just doing these movies to pay up. Maybe he's just paying off his divorce. I don't know. So
Yeah.
but-
Just because Sacha Baron Cohen does a goofy voice doesn't mean it's going to be a successful like role. Like that's
It's
not
like
just
one
automatically
joke
funny
about
because I
his
talk
character.
weird. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
speaking like half Yiddish or half Spanish, and I'm like,
Did
what?
he get divorced, Richie? Is that true? Or are you just saying that?
He might
No,
be paying alimony. That might be true. Yeah.
he did.
Okay, because here's the thing. I've always feel like he's been a smart, picky guy. For him to
Yeah.
do this in Ladies' Choice, or Ladies First, I 100%
He's
think
got
that is
alimony
100%
payments.
it. Hell
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
I forgot
it
what
might be
actor
true.
said that. An actor said that one time. Oh, Gary Oldman for
Yeah.
Tiptoes. He literally was like, I was going through a divorce. Like, like shit happens, y'all. So, yeah, no, because he's been way too picky and smart for him to all of a sudden be like, oh, yeah, this Balls Up. Oh, I can come in. Oh, I got long hair and my voice.
You know what? It tracks JPO. In June of 2025, they finalized the divorce, him and Isla Fisher, and this is like
that's right.
almost
Isla.
about a year. So they probably made this like a year
I'm
ago,
just
and he's
saying,
like,
like-
"I got to make some payments, cut some checks."
He hasn't
Yeah.
been somebody that has that like no offense, Mark Wahlberg and even Paul Walter, who I love. They're not super picky. They're in a lot of
No.
things, sometimes
Yeah.
great, sometimes horrible. Sacha Baron, though, has always struck me as somebody that is like, I'll do it if it's good or an interesting part or
Yeah.
I'm lead. And yeah, that
I feel like-
strikes me as that.
And I know we're going long, and I'm sorry. I feel like this is a movie in like a year or two. Paul Walter House is going to do like
Yeah,
a
that's what I'm saying.
podcast or something, and people are going to bring up this movie, and he's going to be like, you know what? Like, I had fun, like, making it. Like, Sasha was funny on the set. Like, I like working out with Mark Wahlberg. I know it's shit, but,
No,
like, we
he's-
had fun
he's-
making it.
He's a nice guy. He probably won't even call it shit because he wouldn't want to piss off Peter Farrelly. He probably would say all that but the shit part because he seems like such a nice
Right.
guy. But like, I got to work with Peter Farrelly and Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah.
Well, it wouldn't be a list without JPO bringing up a movie nobody's heard of.
Okay.
Skate to Hell comes in at my number 2. We'll play with. It's actually even a bad trailer because it's
Oh.
like it's like a really choppy, like just kind of like quick glimpses of scenes. Like, I don't think it's a very good trailer either. So he finds an evil skateboard. First it brings him to hell, but he finds a way back out, and then there's demons and wackiness ensues. God, I feel like I gotta explain this movie almost more than even talk about it. So this is a Sean C. Phillips movie. I was kind of almost in this movie. So the way he works it is he does GoFundMe's and whatnot, and like if you give him money, you'll be in the movie. But what that means is there's a lot of bad acting in the movie here, and what it means is it's very padded with extras. So even this scene right here, I can almost guarantee all those 5-6 people in the background all paid, a couple
Yeah.
hundred, a few hundred to be there. Because that's bad, essentially, because I put in like one email request just to see what the prices were. He emailed me a lot. I was like, sorry, dude, I don't got the money anymore. I was thinking about it like a year or two ago. Because he'll also segue into like segments where it's like bloggers or news reporters, but it's very repetitive because he promises the people they'll be in the film here. So even the kill scenes, you'll just be like, the killers will come across a group of random people and they'll have some shitty dialogue, some shitty acting, and he'll kill them. Then a few minutes later, the killer will come across a group of people that'll have some shitty dialogue and he'll kill them. Like, it's very padded because of that. Let's see, was it 100 minutes? So again, that's not like crazy long, but it's longer than it should be.
yeah. It seems like it should be like one of those 75-minute movies.
Yeah,
Hard
like,
75.
that's about the amount of plot it has. He does hire a couple actors you'll know, like the people that were probably in the $2,000 to $1,000 range. You've got, is Eric Roberts in this? Yes, he is. Eric Roberts is in this. Todd Bridges, if you're wondering where he's at, the former Playboy or model Jenna Jameson.
Did I see Spencer Breslin in the Google
He's
thing real
still
quick?
and he's in another movie of his, so they work together a lot. Unfortunately, too, it's one of Robert Carrady's last movies. He's in this. Yeah, it's not good. I applaud the go-to effort, but because of the GoFundMe too, it really happens on, just the experience of the movie too. Unfortunately, at the end of the day, like, usually I wouldn't probably make it solo because I'd feel bad knocking a small movie, but like you're hurting yourself by putting in so many, unnecessary, characters that go nowhere, that are not well acted sometimes. And yeah, this is.
Oh my god, I know two other people from this movie. James Duvall is in Independence Day.
Yeah.
He's the older Randy Quaid's son, so he's like been in stuff.
Okay, he's
And
done
then-
stuff. Yeah,
Lisa Wilcox is the main girl in Nightmare on Elm Street 4 and 5. The Alice.
yeah. I know he's a big
Yeah.
horror guy, so there's might be
Yeah.
some sneaky horror people in this for sure.
Right.
Yeah. I was in Lorelai Linklater. Yeah, like,
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, yeah, there's people in this that like have done some stuff.
Right.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
I believe it's Richard's daughter, Richard Linklater's daughter.
Oy.
What's your number one, Piz?
Oh boy. All
We're
right.
there, baby. We're at the
Here's my hot take of the night. I don't think I'm
Oh, God.
completely alone. I've seen a few people share my opinion, but I think for the most part, this movie's pretty well beloved. I've even seen it on a few best of lists. My number one is my most hated movie of the year, as I always have. Boots Riley's I Love Boosters. I fucking hated this movie. This movie sucks. This movie sucks. This is the definition of art house pretension. Nobody said no. I'm going to do whatever the fuck I want, and it only makes sense to me. Almost in the vein of like a Tenet, like to that way, but not like, at least with Tenet, I still enjoyed the action sequences and whatnot. This is a movie that it just got worse as it went along. And I don't think it was even particularly interesting in the first act, but it has like an okay-ish first act where it's like, it starts out fairly normal. It's this group with Keke Palmer and the girls like, stealing from these department stores. I didn't mind like the art direction and some of the, color schemes and whatnot. Will Poulter's doing a goofy performance, but he's not in it that much. Demi Moore is not really doing anything particularly interesting in her role as this like CEO of this company that they're mainly stealing from. And there could be a semi-decent plot thing of them like getting back at this lady for her shady business practices and her, the way she runs like sweatshops overseas and stuff like that. There's something there that I could get behind. But then this movie takes a turn and starts introducing paranormal stuff and sci-fi and like Star Trek shit and teleportation guns and like robot people or pod people and demons who eat pussy. And like, what the fuck is going on in this movie, dude? Like, I went into this thing just like hearing that he made like weird movies, and I was dumbfounded as somebody, like, as it went along. And the problem is, I don't understand what's going on by the end of this movie. And I think Boots Riley understands what's going on, but doesn't explain it at all. And the characters, it's a trope that I hate, is when stuff goes off the rails or things amp up and go to crazy places, but the characters in the movie have almost it doesn't like affect them at all. They just roll on with it and don't acknowledge the weirdness. It's like my problem with If, where at the end of that movie, people are seeing all of a sudden their imaginary friends like sitting on their car as they leave their work and don't react at all and don't fucking scream or have any reaction. They're just like, oh, that's nice. And it's like, no, there's a fucking animated dragon on your car. Like, you should be freaking out and being like, oh my God, what kind of reality is this? And in this, they introduce, like, they start using this gun that they quickly try to explain how it works with like teleportation shit and some setting that I still don't understand, where it like reboots people or something or sucks something out of them, and like they immediately know how to work it and throw out some Star Trek mumbo jumbo that's worse than the worst, like Star Trek The Next Generation bullshit, where they just like throw it out real quick and nobody understands what it is, but he just expects you to roll along with it and you're just supposed to take this ride. Now go fuck yourself. Like, you need to explain some of this shit, and you can't just throw all this crap in there and just like roll with it and not explain any of it and have all the characters just be completely cool with all the nonsense that's happening. You can't start in this one thing, not allude to any of this shit, and then just take a hard right turn and introduce all this crap. And like, there's people in fucking tanks and there's chases, and it's like, what the fuck is? I threw my hands up, I checked out, and it became a absolutely fucking miserable experience, dude. Like, I'm not going to see any more Boots Riley nonsense because, like, this is what it is. You're up your own ass. Go fuck yourself. I'm sorry.
Have you seen Sorry to Bother You?
No, I don't care.
You haven't seen Sorry to Bother You?
No.
Okay, so well, I don't think it goes off the rails as much. I'll tell you off air there, because if you don't care, I'll give you a spoiler then, because it does something very similar to what you just said here. Richie, maybe do this. You guys,
yeah, maybe do this. Yeah.
Just looking out for you. All right. Yeah, I'll tell you about I Love to Bother You off here, how it goes off the rails. Richie, what you got number one?
So, Pez, just clearing it up. You didn't like the movie?
You know, I wasn't terribly fond of it. I wasn't terribly fond of it. You know,
like 2.5, 3 stars.
It's like, you know, it's just like right in the middle. Yeah. And I'm sorry, Jonathan. There's a commentary in there about consumerism in like the first act of that movie, and he doesn't give a fuck about commenting by the end of that movie, like at all. Like he doesn't give a shit. Like it gets completely lost in the sci-fi nonsense of this movie and has nothing to say by the end of it. And I was just done with this shit by the time it was over. We could not get out of the theater fast enough. It was like my experience with Megan 2.0. I bolted out of the theater. Like, let's get the hell out of here. I'm done.
More like I hate boosters or hate.
Yeah. I'm not terribly fond of boosters. Yeah, no thanks.
That'd be weird. I'm not terribly fond of boosters.
Yeah.
My number one, we've brought it up a couple of times here. Sacha Baron Cohen not having a good year, but ladies first. Watch this the other day. Holy shit, this movie sucks. This movie, I was like, you know, I was on board with the trailer. I was thinking, there'll be more substance to it. I was on board. No, this movie has one joke, and it's stretched out to what, like over an hour and a half. This movie has one joke. That's all it is. It's movie's a sketch. It's stretched out to a feature film. That's all this is, and it's just like and it all turns around because he gets a concussion because he hits his head. He runs into a street post, and then it's like and then it's like okay, and then like then it's like then the matriarchy, the dominant, and then the men are oppressed, but then it's like, and then just beats you over the head with it, beats you and beats you and beats you over the head with it, and then but to the point where it's like some of it doesn't really make sense because like if you like surely like you know in a patriarchal society if feminism is considered weak, then if it's a matriarchal shouldn't like masculinity be considered weak? But no, in this society, it's still if you're a man and you're feminine, it's still considered like you're a pussy, you're weak. So it's like that doesn't make sense. You're making fun of yourself. So it's still misogynistic to women. So it's weird. It gets mixed up in their own commentary, and then it's like. It's just, and then Rosamund Pike, she's a great actress, and I don't like, I'm not sure of her choices lately. In the Grey wasn't wonderful either, but so I don't know. She could do better than this, and I don't know. Well, like this is just a misfire on every. If you're moral, if you're like, if your empathy, if your change in empathy, hinges on the fact that you run into a light post and get a concussion, then maybe you're a piece of shit. If that didn't happen, if this all didn't happen, she would just be, he would just always be an overbearing asshole. This whole movie hinges upon an accident. It's just bizarre. And then, but also like, you got like British acting royalty in there. There was like one time where it was like narrator. I'm like thinking, oh, is that Richard E. Grant or is it Charles Dance? It was Richard E. Grant, but Charles Dance is also in the movie. He's the boss. I'm like, why are you in here? Like, oh, Charles Dance, you're a legend. And then Richard E. Grant plays a homeless dude. I'm like, why are you both in here? Like,
A homeless dude who's caked in bird shit throughout the whole movie.
yeah, yeah. Why are you both in here? You're amazing. You'll be on this. And so yeah, no, this movie sucks. So yes, no, it's just it's painful. Nothing more painful than bad comedy. And yeah, there's no laughs, but just painful comedy.
Well, I personally do have one small thing that is a little more painful to me anyway, which is having the balls to make 3 of these fucking things. Stranger Chapter 3 comes in. Yeah, it already dropped on Stars with a Z, so I was able to see it a month or so ago. It's always tough to rank top 5, worst 5. I have this at number 1. I could probably flip-flop maybe the top 3, I think, are the ones that I really dislike. But I'd make this number 1 because this also just angers me as a concept. The fact that they, spreaded this shit out 3 different movies. Did not another one that doesn't know how to execute the end. You mentioned like they're kind of like toying with making her one of them, but you never quite buy into 1, why that makes sense. 2, you never buy the fact that she's gonna go along with it, and then it fucking ends. It ends very kind of generically and shitty. It's boring at times. Again, the gore is not great, so you're not really getting off on that. If you're into that, it's just a really poorly made trilogy here that should not have even been a trilogy. I mean, that first one's bad because it's by the numbers and very offensive when it ends on a cliffhanger, and then we finally get the finale, and even the finale just really sucks here. This is very much, please, Hollywood, don't do things like this. Don't hedge your bets and go, we'll create a whole trilogy, before you even know what the first one's any good. Yeah, just stop it. Yeah, this one angers me on a why it exists level.
Maybe I should go back and reevaluate Strangers Prey at Night, which is a movie I was not a fan of at the time. But like maybe in hindsight, it might be way better. It might be better than this.
It's way better.
That's what I mean.
It's way better.
This trilogy's so bad it makes other movies better. Like that's one of those examples.
So like at least Prey of Night 1 goes a little different, where like there's a family dynamic versus the couple, which again the first chapter 1 is very much again just a couple in the woods. But even this version too is like they're kind of happy and cute. Like the first one, like they're kind of having their problems and they're working through it. And like at the end, when the one thing happens to the boyfriend, you kind of care. In chapter 1, when what happens to the boyfriend, I don't give a shit. Like that's not good.
No.
I don't care, and it's spread out. Yeah, and at least 2 actually has a couple cool like moments. I can't tell you like my favorite sequence from this trilogy. Yeah, at least Prey at Night. Like I've actually had it on the horror clips one time. Like the one bridge scene is kind of cool and well shot.
The pool sequence is good. Like it's got a few decent sequences at least. Yeah, and
you have good actors in front. Like the mom and dad are good. I think even the kids are good. Like it's got some good actors, in it. And then you have this. Oh wait, I think I heard Richie poop in.
I got it.
No, you're good. You're good. Just shitting on strangers a little bit more here to wrap the show up.
Yeah.
We'll see what the comment is. Yeah, Brian throwing out. Let's see, Thrash. Oh, Melania. Yeah, no, I didn't see Melania.
I haven't even bothered to sit down and watch Melania. I just don't care. Like I know I'm just gonna.
I love you, Brian.
So I just won't.
But that's your fault for watching a movie called Pub Fish. That's your fault for watching that.
My friends in it.
Oh no.
Vengeance. What's Vengeance?
I don't know.
That Vengeance is a very generic title where about 85 movies have been called Vengeance.
It's that BJ Novak movie, but that can't be it.
And I like
as far as I can tell, it's like some Spanish movie or something, or some Indian movie. I don't know. There's 3 different Vengeance movies from 2026. What are you talking about?
Brian, let us know what you watch.
I swear, I typed in Vengeance 2026 movie. There's 3 different movies called Vengeance. You got to be way more specific.
We had the Rodrigo Valdez with Omar Chaparro. Oh, it is that one actually, because I'm on Letterboxd.
Okay, all right.
Okay, now you gotta let me know, Brian, in the chat, why you went out of your way to watch this. Only person that has seen this is Brian, and he gave it 2 stars. So, why did you feel the need to watch Vengeance, the Spanish movie that's technically titled Vagenza, because it's Spanish? All right, yeah. Why did this come to your radar, Brian? But anywho, Pez, and anyone else in the chat, let us know too. We got Diaz dropping in. Pez plugs, parting words. Floor is yours.
Yeah, no. So whatever. I have my hot take at number one. Sue me. I don't care. Find me on social media. I don't give a shit. Like fuck Boots Riley and your pretentious bullshit. And nobody will say no to your stupid ideas that only you understand. But anyways, you can find me over on the Movie Hero Network, mostly doing all kinds of stuff. Jonathan and I are actually going to go live on Wednesday and do kind of a combination of countdown and long time first time. JPO. We're going to talk about our top 10 first time watches of the year so far, since we watched a lot of older shit, for tournament fights, tier rank or whatnot. So yeah, we're gonna do that, just kind of hang out. So we'll do that on Wednesday. We got tournament fights a couple times this week. Me and Richie, Wheel of Movies, will return for one for the Cuckoo's Nest on Thursday night, and then we'll all get together for a little Lonely Marks and talk about Shameless, I guess, and do some rank up stuff. There you go.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I guess I won't spoil it on Raw, but something big happened on Raw. But
I'm not going to. I'll try to.
Don't say anything. Yeah, I'll just say that.
Sheamus return. His name is Shamoose. No, that's gonna be All Elite Wrestling Shamoose, because I guarantee they must have copyrighted that name.
Mm-hmm.
Richie, Blood's Burning Words.
That sounds like the tag team. Oh, he's going to do an Impact with Moose. Shamoose.
Shamoose.
You can find me. Just on Wheel of Movies, as Pez said, and and Where We Love Horror as well when that comes around, and it's pretty much it. We might do like worst and best of, and on the here at some point, I guess, that's pretty much it. Well, I'm getting back into the swing of things. It's been a bit under the weather, but I'll be all right.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody watched Tyler Perry's Joe's College Road Trip. Come on, guys, we're slacking.
I think I'm like burned out on shitty Tyler Perry movies, so I'm just not even bothering anymore. Unless I hear one is like epically bad, like I did with Mia Culpa like a year or two ago, whatever it was. Like I watched that one because I heard it was like insane, bad. But other than that, I don't.
Would you believe, Pez and Richie? Yeah. Would you believe that in this movie, Tyler Perry dresses up as a woman?
Whoa, man, that's revolutionary.
He does. And as an old man, because he's got to pull the unfunny Eddie Murphy.
He has.
A character actor though, I'd be fine with him. I like him in Gone Girl. For Pez, for Richie, Madeline Grogu, I thought it was fine. But yes, if you're watching this later, let us know in the comments what you dislike this year. See if you agree with us anything. If you immediately disagree with anything, let us know. And enjoy your time at the theaters. We'll be back in January. See if any of these movies, I don't know if I want to say hold up to the list, but we'll see. And more shenanigans, of course, coming to this channel as well.